Okay, I'm here at UTD again, and Mary's going to show me a little bit about, well, a little system in case you're doing side-mounted tanks. But they've had the side-mounted tanks before, and I think I have a video of it already. But what's really neat is the new system on the back.
It's an isolatable manifold.
That's easy for you to say. Isolatable manifold. Yeah.
And so you can turn on your left side.
Okay.
Turn on your right side. So you can actually separate your system. So your system on the right, in this case the diver's left and my right, operating here. So you've got your valves.
Right.
And then you've got your isolatable. So if you were to have a valve leak over on this tank, and your right tank was leaking,
right,
no big deal, right?
Just switch it
so
back the other way.
Switch it over, and now you've turned this whole system off.
Okay.
And you're operating on this system.
Would you ever want both of them on at the same time?
So with both of them on at the same time, you've got access to both tanks. So you've got one tank off.
Right.
One tank on. And then swapping back and forth.
Right.
And then of course you have the manifold connect, so everything is independent to the manifold. In that you have your first stage essentially right here, or your first stage right here with your isolatable manifold. But then you have all of your connections through here. So if we walk around to the front,
it's got this back harness too that comes with it.
So the back harness here is our Z-trim system.
Okay.
And what makes this one very different than others you'll find is that if you look, you can see the ribbing.
Right.
Now here's one.
You can see the lines there.
Blown up.
Oh, okay.
You notice there's nothing that's really huge in one section or the other.
Right.
So it stays very even.
It's pretty flat too.
All the way through, nice and flat. But the ribbing keeps the section to hold only a certain amount of air.
Okay.
So you don't get a big air bubble over here that sloshes over
yeah.
here. So it keeps you real stable.
Okay.
Eliminates that dynamic instability. And then you have your weight pockets on the inside here.
Okay.
So you can, if you need to, we all like to adjust our weight to make us nice and stable.
Right.
So you can put a weight pocket here.
Depending on what, bigger tanks on one side or...
And depending on what your natural weight requirement might be.
Okay, and then you were going to show me what on the front again here, as I distracted you.
Oh, no, you're good. So on the front here, we've got different connections. These all come from the manifold.
Okay.
So you've got a wet connect. So for instance, when I side mount, I take my tanks down to the beach, lay them in the sand. And then I come back to my section on the, on the picnic area, and I gear up. And I put my DC on, I got everything situated, my fins, mask, all of that. Hike it down to the beach, pick up my tanks at the beach end.
Okay.
And then drag them into the water and connect them.
By that connector.
Now I've got air.
Okay, and then a couple of hooks.
So I've got the hooks and a bungee. So there's a bungee up through here. Right. And a couple of hooks.
Now, do you find as a female diver that having a side mount is easier on your back than having just a tank, two tanks on your back or whatever?
I found that the fact that I can take my tanks to the edge of the water, and I don't have to huff them everywhere. I can go set my tanks down first and then come back and put on my rig and then go to the water, and I've got literally 10 feet of carrying a heavy tank. Once it's in the water, my aluminum 80s float. Okay. So once the water's lifting it up, it's light. Yeah. So I can't dive my steel 80 in this. Right. But who needs it? Exactly. I've got 2 aluminum 80s and I'm buoyant. Well, there you go. So you expect to see, especially people that want less weight on their back. More agility. More agility. Okay. And that's it's becoming a popular system for the side mounts too. And everything is connected through that manifold. So I've got my backup rig. Right. Got my long hose, and everything's air is all coming in through the whole system through this one connection up here. But it has that isolatable section, so you can turn off one and turn off. And if they want more information on this, they would go UnifiedTeamDiving.com. Okay. Or you can call us at 855-DIVE-UTD. Perfect. Thank you very much.